People who work in HR, what's the wildest thing you've discovered that led to a firing? I was the HR manager for a large bookstore chain that also sold specialty art supplies in a separate room at the back of each store. These supplies were expensive and frequently stolen, so we installed small security cameras in the storerooms. One Monday morning, I got a call from a store manager about disturbing footage from the weekend. I remotely accessed the security system, expecting to see a shoplifter. Instead, I watched as the night manager, a respected 40-something man who'd been with the company for 12 years, entered the art supply storeroom after closing on Saturday night. Nothing unusual at first, he was just doing inventory. Then he carefully selected several large canvases and arranged them in a circle on the floor. He placed expensive bottles of body paint in a neat row beside them. He left the frame briefly, then returned completely unclothed, carrying only a hand mirror. For the next hour, he proceeded to cover himself in different colored paints and press his body against each canvas, creating what I can only describe as body prints of every imaginable pose. He was meticulous, carefully washing off each color in the employee sink before applying the next one. After finishing his artwork, he hung the canvases up to dry on a storage rack, cleaned the area thoroughly, and left, still unclothed, carrying his clothes and the mirror. Sunday night's footage showed him returning, fully dressed, to collect his dried masterpieces. He carefully wrapped each canvas in protective paper, labeled them, and placed them in his car. I sat in stunned silence after the video ended. This wasn't just theft, it was bizarre behavior from someone in management who had keys to the store and supervised younger employees. I called him into my office the next day. He arrived looking confident, completely unaware of the cameras that had been installed just a week earlier. "We need to discuss your activities in the art supply storeroom this weekend," I said calmly. His expression didn't change for a moment. Then all color drained from his face. "There are cameras in there now, aren't there?" I nodded. He didn't try to explain or deny anything. He simply placed his store keys on my desk and said, "I have 28 of them at home. I'll bring them in tomorrow." 28 what? I asked, confused. "Canvases," he replied. "I've been doing this every weekend for almost 7 months." I was speechless. He'd been creating unclothed body art in our storeroom for over half a year without anyone noticing the missing supplies. "Why our storeroom?" I finally asked. "Why not do this at home? I live with my elderly mother," he said matter-of-factly, "and the lighting is better in your storeroom." I processed him as a resignation rather than a termination. He returned the next day with a U-Haul containing 28 carefully wrapped canvases and handed me an envelope containing cash that precisely covered the cost of all the supplies he'd used.